All right. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? It's me, Pedro.
And it's me, Vinny.
We are global founders, and we're going to talk about a different show today, not the Shark Tank, but the Den version, the Dragon's Den, which is the English version. All right. So it's going to be interesting, a different accent today for us to explore. All right.
Nice. Yeah, let's see.
When approaching investors, it's crucial to offer them a big enough slice of a business to get them excited, while at the same time keeping enough back for yourself. It's a tricky balance, one that online entrepreneur Ben Hardiman hopes he's got right as he faces the dragons.
So they have an intro. They have a guide to explain what's going on.
Yeah, I was missing the sound, the initial intro music. And this is kind of like more old school. You see, like it's not GVs. They just put a
Yeah.
Canva.
My name's Ben Hardiman, and I'm here today looking for £250,000 worth of investment in return for a 7.5% equity stake in my company.
Very
Zapper is
serious.
a website where you can
Wow,
enter.
it's so different. They're like, Dad, they're like very serious, like we would be like,
Maybe it's this one episode, or it's always like this. I've
I think
never
it sounds like this. If we did that
watched.
on my Combinator, like we would be like, guys, get out of here now, like your styles. Not imagine.
Yeah, I've heard someone say like if your pitch pretty much sounds like everyone else, it will be hard, right, to differentiate it. So even the way you're pitching, you must uh, try to be very, I don't know, pretty much unique. And how much he's asking, I didn't get that. Sorry, it was. I heard that it was for 25% of his company, right? Let's try to see.
My name's Ben Hardiman, and I'm here today looking for £250,000 worth of investment
Okay.
in return for a 7.5%
Okay,
equity stake in my
7.5.
company.
Wow.
CDs, DVDs, and computer games.
Okay, so 250 for 7%.
That's pretty
This is
average.
like yeah, 3 million, 3.5 million.
Okay.
Enter barcodes from the backs of books, CDs, DVDs, and computer games in return for instant cash valuations. Once you're happy, you would simply complete the trade and then we would post you your check. Since our launch in November 2011, we have grown to over 5,000 customers and currently enjoy monthly revenues in the region of £150,000.
It's so
I
different.
brought here today 58
We enjoy monthly revenues. Like we just like. Do you enjoy our revenues being
Of course, yeah. It's always good to enjoy the monthly revenue, annual revenue. I always like especially when it's growing, it's pretty much fun and enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
items, and the onward retail value of these goods is approximately £250, but we will pay the customer approximately £40 for them. And inherent in these is a net profit of in the region of £20. So I would now invite your questions. Thank you for listening to my pitch.
What does he do? I didn't get that.
A somewhat sober pitch from Ben Hardiman, whose website offers
Sober.
the chance to sell your unwanted CDs, books, and video games for a share of the profits.
So he invented
He needs a
eBay.
sizable cash injection.
What?
That's eBay, right?
eBay for CDs, DVDs, and books. Yeah.
Of £250,000 for a rather precise 7.5% of the company. Duncan Bannatyne is first to question the ambitious entrepreneur.
This guy is good.
I want to talk about the business. I did a quick calculation. £250,000 for 7.5%.
Yeah.
That comes to a valuation of £3,333,000, £333.33.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I need to do is find out why So 2012, what turnover are you projecting?
It was 1.1 million, and the net profit around 35,000. In 2013, the turnover is projected at 8.3 million. Net profit 660,000. And 2014, 23 million. Net profit 2.1.
So that's quite interesting. You see, profit is, I think that's ever the first time, right, Vinny? In like all these years that we have been doing this, that we actually have seen an entrepreneur talking about the profits of the business. I think in America, here in America, people are more towards the valuation and selling the business, and being acquired and have an exit plan. But I think in the UK, it's more used to like make the business profitable and actually get profits out of the business so the business lasts forever. I think there's a different mindset there in terms of culture.
Yeah, very few businesses they really approach, especially in the beginning when it's like a very cash intensive. You needed to invest a lot of money, especially in the first years. They don't talk a lot about profit. So yes, it's interesting to hear a different side.
Well, if you match these projections, you could go with £3,333,333.33.
Well, that's why I've come here with that conviction.
But how do I know you're going to make them?
There's no shortage of this inventory in people's houses. And the last 6 months' turnover has been in the region of £600,000 in total.
It's pretty good. That's marvelous.
A confident rebuttal by Ben to the age-old Den issue of valuation. But has it satisfied Deborah Meaden?
Ben, hi.
Hi, Deborah.
How much money have you put in?
I've probably put about 50,000 in.
Do you have other investors?
We've got 3 shareholders at 10% each.
And how much did they put into the business?
They put in 50,000 in collectively.
So 17,000
That's
each
right.
to give them 10%. So how come these 3 investors put in £50,000 and now suddenly we have to buy in at a later stage at £250,000?
Well, the only easy answer is that I'd put myself in a vulnerable position by not organising the raising of finance in a timely fashion. So I brought in 3 minority shareholders who I knew would, in a mentoring capacity, help me in various different ways. There was
Are you out of the woods now?
Most definitely. The main difference now is that we've
Brutal.
ridden that.
Yes.
Are you have you grown up yet? Are you ready? Like now you're ready to get the higher valuation and so, out of right there.
Out of the woods.
Classic cash flow curve.
How much cash have you got on the business now?
We're running a sort of average balance of around about £8,000 or £9,000.
So you'd kind of say there's not a lot of cash in the business at the moment.
No, that's
so
right.
So how do you think that answers the question?
Well, no, the only
that has
easy
not bridged the gap between their valuation and this valuation, has it?
Interesting.
The figures that I've given you are, I will confess, assisted by an injection of investment.
So I'm having to pay for the difference that I'm going to make for the business. So I've got to give you £250,000, make a big difference in this business to make it worth the money that you're charging me for now. That doesn't sound like a really good way of me spending my money.
Well, if I had an opportunity to show you the projections of the business...
I'm sorry, this is very frustrating. And I'll be perfectly honest, I'm actually quite insulted. You clearly think that those other investors are a different level to here. Your company was being valued at £160,000. You now value it at 3.3 million. I can't possibly invest in something like this, so I'm out.
This is this is how it works, right? The guy was building this thing alone. He got friends, what do we call friends, fools, and family to invest. And now he's in another stage that he had way more assets and revenue and customers. So this is how the things work, right? You are always looking for a high valuation of your business. Yeah. I don't understand why the guys are so pissed. Really,
I think it's related to the fact that they want to, they are attached to the multiples. For example, in America, you can have multiples which are 40x, 100x on valuation, revenue per valuation, right? So if your company is making $1 million and the multiple is 40x, it's worth $40 million, right? The whole company. I think, like, for example, in Europe, it's different. Like the ratio, it's more fixed, is around 3-5x, that they are looking for. So when he increased the valuation of the company from $160,000 to 3.3 million, what they expected is that the revenue should have grown also 20x, which is not the case. So that's why maybe they're insulted, because how come you raise the valuation for us 20x, but the revenue has not grown 20x? Why you have just changed the multiple? Yeah.
Instant rejection from Peter Jones as the sure-footed businessman loses his first dragon. And Hilary Devey is not looking impressed either.
I think Peter's right. I equally feel insulted.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear you say that.
Yeah, so my next words are, Ben, I'm out.
A very long conversation.
Ben, can I tell you where I am?
Yes, indeed.
I have to say, it is not a good strategy to come in front of 5 other investors and say, we value you so much less than the other investors that for the same percentage, we're going to charge you £250,000. That is not a good strategy when you're asking for an investment. And sometimes you just lose investment because you screw it up. And you just did. I'm out.
It's so brutal. Look at this.
Yeah,
You screw it up and you lose the investment.
Yeah. She's not just satisfied and say like I'm out. It's just like you are almost a piece of shit here. Get out of here. What you're doing? Okay, this is pretty much the life of an entrepreneur in front of us. That's amazing.
Oh God.
Ben, how do you think it's gone so far?
Pretty catastrophic.
Quite like the model.
Oh God.
Have the 3 dragons who've gone out missed something?
I think they've missed the motivation of an entrepreneur who's spent the last 8 years building internet businesses. And just a little bit of background briefly, my previous business was Webflix. I mean, I started that business in the bedroom of my mum's house, and we sold our customers at a later date to our big competitor.
Or what was the amount?
It was 150,000.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if I invest £250,000 in this, what is my exit?
Well, we've had interest from a big American company. It was a bit early for us, but there are potential trade sale exits for this business.
I wish you'd come in and ask for less money, Ben. The valuation's wrong.
I love
So therefore I've got to say I'm sorry, but I'm out.
Is he like when the person builds the proposition, like why should you invest and what's the exit plan? They just like think about it. It's like, does the numbers make sense? Like did the numbers make sense? Can we actually build this and so sell the business later? Like it's very well like business like process. Well done. Yeah.
Ben's business revelations restore some credibility to his pitch, but the result is still the same, and now 4 dragons are out. However, Theo Paphitis has been unusually quiet.
Now, Ben, I like the whole concept of it.
Yeah.
I'm a retailer. I know about retailing. I see the future in exactly where you're going. I'm just wondering whether you're just going to run out of steam.
One of the main reasons that you can have confidence is we've developed the business to scale in extraordinary ways, and it's all fully tested, robust technology.
Right, so I've got 250,000 quid in my pocket. What are you going to give me in return?
At least a 10-fold return on that investment in 3 years. One of the things I can demonstrate to you is that my nearest competitor, Music Magpie.
Also, the return is way less, right? Because some of the VCs here in the US, when they invest in like tech companies, internet, they're expecting like a 100x front of their investors, especially like early stage, right? Like they know like they're gonna put like in 10 companies and 9 out of 10 will fail, or maybe 8 will fail, 1 will survive, and 1 will bring back like a strong, very strong return of investment. So, and then they don't expect only 10x, like they expect minimum like a 20x minimum.
Minimum.
They've been doing it since 2008 and now generate something in the region of 100 million a year in revenue. I mean, there's no shortage of people wanting to declutter.
But the problem is, you gave 30% for £50,000. And you're asking for such a huge amount here.
I still believe it to be
That's interesting. You see,
not unreasonable
huge
value.
amount, like 250 quid or 250 pounds is not like a lot of money, honestly. You know, like that's.
Yeah, but
like,
this was like a 2011 as well. So 2011, 250,000 pounds was way more than today.
Way more. I mean, like Y Combinator these days, the standard deal, and they accept like 300 companies per batch these days, is $500K, $500,000. So it's just standard these days. You know, like these huge amounts. You know.
Yeah, the game has changed a lot, like in the last 10, 11 years. For sure.
At 3.5 million. But I'd be prepared to obviously move on that valuation and therefore the percentage.
What would you offer me?
I'd offer you 15%.
Okay. I'm going to make you an offer.
I'll make an offer.
Of the full £250,000. But I'm going to be wanting 30%.
The big stake, 30%.
That's a huge dilution, right? He
I
already
would
gave
be prepared
30%.
to offer you 20% for that amount, if you would agree.
Believe you me, you don't know how much it hurts to offer you £250,000 for the same amount that somebody else paid £50,000.
Am I in a position to consult with Matt, my business partner?
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Interesting. Consult.
A
Like
tense exchange,
in the
but
Shark
Ben
Tank,
finally
it'll be
gets
like,
the offer he badly needs.
you need to make a decision right now, otherwise the offer is out of the table. That's you have to close it out. You have to decide. You know, no consulting.
But at 4 times the equity he initially wanted to give away.
Yeah.
Will his business partner be able to
here they are.
negotiate a better deal?
Hello, Matt, I'm Theo. I've just made Ben an offer.
Oh, the guys did.
And Ben feels it's important that he discusses it with you.
Of course, yeah.
Before I tell you what that offer is, what I'd like to know, who is Matt?
Oh, well, I worked for British Aerospace for a while, and then I became a web developer. And then I moved on, I became a database expert, and I've been working with Ben for 6 years now.
Looks like the brilliant guy, the very clear nerd and brilliant guy.
Yeah.
Moving from different industries, like from airspace to web development, database, everything I can do.
All the technology, design all the processes, and make sure everything works together.
Well, let me just say to you, I have asked for 30%.
Do you want to have a discussion about it?
Might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Go talk. Yeah, everything is still like
Thing is, this is
sober
not
and
Yeah.
been slaughtered. What do you think we should do? So we would have 40%.
It's less than half control of the company.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
For us.
Okay, we'll go for 25 or nothing. Okay, let's go back.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic, very serious, very.
It would
business-like.
involve extra dilution of my own shares, but would you be prepared to move to 25%? Because
I would be prepared to stay at 30%.
I'm prepared to be at
To
30%.
consider not just the money, but what Theo can bring in terms of his contacts, his networks. What do you feel?
I feel we should accept the offer.
Have we got a deal?
We got a deal.
We got a deal.
Ben and Matt
Very
have done
dramatic.
it.
Excellent.
The cash injection cost them more equity, but they leave with a high.
Very different.
See, like they have an extensive amount of like the way they manage risk is very different. You know, like, oh, like should I take this? You know, are the things I need to think about. Like you should not take risks that are unnecessary. You know.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Yeah, different. Maybe next time we should do the Shark Tank Australia and see what they do there.
Yeah, let's export
Like
other
explore
countries.
other- Yeah, maybe the
Let's
Shark
see
Tank
how
India.
that-
Yeah,
Yes, of
that's
course.
the global. All right.
That'll be nice. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for
Thank you. I
participating.
hope you like this. Yeah.
Let's keep doing. Let's see you next week. Take care.
Tell us next week what episode you want to have, and